Welcome to week 15 of Algebra 1 Honors with Mrs. Bibb. This week we're going to be multiplying binomials. Please make sure to fill in your table of contents. Complete your warm-up. It is just one page this week. Don't be surprised, but it is just one page this week. And we'll go right straight to the notes. It says for questions 1 through 6, use the distributive property to find the product. And we all know what the distributive property is. What you're doing when you use the distributive property, you are going to take this first term of x and multiply it by this binomial. The second thing you're going to do to distribute, and I think you all could see, is you're going to take this second term in that first binomial and also multiply it by this binomial. Let's see what that looks like on my actual paper. I do want to see this, so let's do the blue first. I'm going to write down x, and I want to use black for my pen color. So I write down x, and then I'm distributing x to the other blue, x minus 1. Then I write down the green, that's negative 2. If it were positive 2, I'd put plus 2. And I'm going to distribute negative 2 to x minus 1 also. Then I'm going to actually distribute. X times x is x squared, because 1 plus 1 is 2. That's why we learned or reviewed the lesson from last week. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. And remember, the 1s are understood to be there. Negative 1, get my little tracing tool, negative 1x to the first power. Now I'm going to distribute my negative 2. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. I need to combine like terms. So when I look at this term and this term are like terms. The x squared does not have a like term to go with it, so I need to make sure to just bring it down. Negative 1x plus negative 2x is negative 3x plus 2. That's the answer to number 1. For question 2, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to distribute my b to b plus 2, and I'm also going to distribute my negative 3 to b plus 2. So you'll get the hang of this, and I won't have to do the highlighting, but it is good to visually see what we're doing. We're multiplying the blue b by b plus 2. We're multiplying the negative 3 by b plus 2. We're going to distribute. B times b is b squared. B times 2 is 2b. Negative 3 times b is negative 3b. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Combine like terms. B squared does not have a like term. 2b plus negative 3b is negative 1b. Remember, that 1's understood to be there. And negative 6 does not have a like term. That is my answer. Moving on to the next one. I'm going to distribute g to g plus 4, and I'm also going to distribute positive 2 to g plus 4. G, whoops, I keep doing that. G times g plus 4 plus 2 times g plus 4. Distribute. G squared plus 4g. Distribute. Plus 2g plus 8. Combine like terms. No like term to go with g squared. 4g plus 2g is 6g. No like term to go with 8. That is my answer. For the next one, I'm going to distribute again. I'm going to distribute a to 2a plus 5 and negative 1 to 2a plus 5. A times the quantity 2a plus 5 minus 1 times the quantity 2a plus 5. Distribute. A times 2a is 2a squared. a times 5 is 5a. Negative 1 times 2a is, negative 2a. Negative times a positive is a negative. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. Combine like terms. 2a squared, 5a minus 2a is plus 3a minus 5. And that's my answer. There are no more like terms. The next problem, and if I'm going too fast, just pause and catch up with me and then play again. I'm going to distribute 3n to the quantity n plus 1, and I'm also going to distribute negative 4 to the quantity n plus 1. 3n times the quantity n plus 1 minus 4 times the quantity n plus 1. 3n times n is 3n squared. 3n times 1 is positive 3n. Negative 4 times n is negative 4n. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Combine like terms. 3n squared does not have a like term. 3n minus 4n is negative 1n, and minus 4 does not have a like term. I love doing these. I know it's strange, but I just think it's fun. And that's probably very strange to most people, but that's okay. And now I'm going to distribute r to 3r plus 2, and I'm going to distribute positive 3 to 3r plus 2. R times the quantity 3r plus 2 plus 3 times the quantity 3r plus 2. Distribute r times 3r is 3r squared. R times 2 is positive 2r. 3 times 3r is positive 9r. 3 times 2 is positive 6. Combine like terms. 3r squared, 2r plus 9r is 11r plus 6. That's how you do multiplying binomials using the distributive property. Next, we're going to multiply binomials using a table. Now, how do you go about doing that? It's a little strange, but not too bad. First of all, something that I think helps you to remember is you're multiplying. I'm not going to put an X there, I'm going to put a dot. You're multiplying. X minus 3 and x minus 2. Now when you multiply, you're doing x times x and negative 3 times x, and put the answer here. Then x times negative 2, put the answer here, and then negative 3 times negative 2, put the answer here. So again, I'll go through it one more time with just my little pointer device. X times x, the answer goes here. Negative 3 times x, the answer goes here. X times negative 2, the answer goes here. Negative 3 times negative 2, the answer goes here. These remind me of Punnett squares from science. If you've ever done the whole blue-eyed mixed with brown-eyed dominant genes and recessive genes, that's what this reminds me of for some reason, and a science person might think I'm crazy. I'm not sure, but that's what it reminds me of. Okay, x times x is x squared. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. Now, to combine like terms, and this is going to always happen on these problems when you do them, this term and this term are going to be my like terms. So, x squared, negative 3x and negative 2x is negative 5x, and that's a positive 6. That's my answer to number 7. For number 8, I'm going to put y plus 1 in the top and y minus 6 in the bottom. And that plus 1, you probably don't have to have a plus 1, but I think it's just good for our brain to see that positive one. Now we're going to multiply. Y times y is y squared. 1 times y is y. Y times negative 6 is negative 6y. That was my computer making a strange noise. And then 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. Now combine my like terms. I'm going to highlight these here. Those are my like terms, and it'll always happen that way. The other two do not have a like term, so y squared, negative 6y plus y is negative 5y, and then negative 6. One thing I didn't mention on the previous slide, and I want to mention now, if you'll notice, the exponents always go in this order: second power, first power, no x. Second power, first power, no x. That is called descending order. And to be in the proper form, you should have all of your exponents in descending order. The next example. Q plus 3 in the top, Q plus 7 in the bottom, and then I'm going to multiply. Q times Q is Q squared, 3 times Q is 3Q, Q times 7 is 7Q, and 3 times 7 is 21. Combine like terms. I'm going to have Q squared plus 10Q. 3Q plus 7Q is 10Q, and then, oops, I think I goofed up. Oh, so sorry about that. Oh, and I don't know why I can't erase it. That's weird. I'm just going to scribble it out. 3 times 7. I think I said 21, but I wrote 27. I hope I did anyway. And then plus 21. Number 10, I'm going to put 2w minus 5 on the top and w minus 3 along the bottom. And again, I think I said this, but I'll reiterate. It does not matter if you would put w plus minus 3 on the top and 2w minus 5 on the bottom. Either of those is perfectly acceptable. I just put the first one on the top and the second one on the side. It does not matter. 2w times w, 2w squared. Negative 5 times w, negative 5w. 2w times negative 3 is negative 6w. Negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15. Combine like terms. 2w squared. My like terms are here. Negative 5w plus negative 6w is negative 11w, plus 15 is correct. Number 11, 6h minus 2. And I want to move this around. I like to have my variable first. Those two binomials are equivalent. So I just like to do that just because. It would work if you did not put it first, but I just like to put my variable first. 6h times negative 2h is negative 12h squared. Negative 2 times negative 2h is positive 4h. 6h times negative 3 is negative 18h. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Okay, combine like terms. My like terms are here. I'm going to have negative 12h squared minus 14h, negative 18h plus 4h is negative 14h plus 6. That's my answer. Number 12, I've got to rearrange that first binomial. I'm going to rewrite that as 4j minus 3. Positive 4j, negative 3. So that is the same thing. 4j minus 3, 3j plus 4. Then I'm going to multiply. 4j times 3j is 12j squared. Negative 3 times 3j is 9j. 4j times 4 is positive 16j. Negative 3 times positive 4 is negative 12. Combine like terms. These are like terms. My answer will be 12. I'm going to write it up here. 12j squared plus 25j. 9j plus 16j is 25j minus 12. That's the answer to number 12. And one more way to do these, and we'll be finished with this lesson. It says to use the FOIL method. Honestly, I do not care for the FOIL method. I believe it confuses students, so I'm going to show you what the FOIL method is. It is just distributing. FOIL method. F stands for first. O stands for outer or outside, depending on who you're talking to. I stands for inside. And L stands for last. Next, we're going to actually do the FOIL method. I want to point out, and then I'll erase this really quickly. These are the first terms. First term in the first binomial, first term in the second binomial. As a whole, these are the outside terms. These are the inside terms, and these are the last terms. That's where FOIL comes from. It comes from first terms, outside, inside, last. FOIL. All right. Now, let's actually do FOIL. X times x is x squared. If you're doing FOIL, then you have to draw those arrows. You don't have to write the letters, but you have to draw the arrows. That's how you show your work. Outside terms. X times negative 3. Negative 3x. Inside terms. 2 times x. Positive 2x. Last terms. Positive 2 times negative 3. Negative 6. Then add your like terms. X squared, negative 3x plus 2x is negative 1x minus 6. Next, first terms. Z times z, first terms. Z squared. Outside terms. Z times positive 2. Positive 2z. Those are outside. Inside terms. 3 times z. 3 times z is positive 3z, and then last terms. Positive 3 times positive 2 is positive 6. Combine like terms. Z squared plus 5z plus 6. That's the answer to number 14. 15. First terms. H squared. Outside terms. Positive 4h. Inside terms. Negative 2h. Last terms. Negative 8. Combine like terms. 4h and negative 2h is positive 2h minus 8. 16. Outside terms. Oops, so sorry. 16. First terms, 2m times m. Outside terms, 2m times 2. Inside terms, negative 1m times m, negative 1m. Last terms, negative 1 times 2, negative 2. Combine like terms. Middle terms are alike. 4m plus negative 1m is 3m minus 2. 17, 4n times 3n is 12n squared. That's the first terms. Outside terms. 4n times 4 is positive 16n. Inside terms. Negative 1 times 3n is negative 3n. And then last terms, negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Combine like terms, 12n squared plus 13n minus 4. number 18, first terms, negative q times q is negative q squared. Outside terms, negative q times 1 is negative q. Inside terms, negative 1 times q is negative q. Negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Combine like terms, negative q squared, negative 1q plus negative 1q is negative 2q minus 1. That's the answer to number 18. I believe that's all. Yes. So please complete your weekly practice. These are in your textbook. If you did not get a hard copy of the textbook, remember your textbook is in the section under information, your digital copy. You'll have an assessment and you may check your answers. Hope you have a wonderful week. And if you need any help, please reach out to me. Have a great day.